What's going on, guys? So here we are on the very first WIP Wednesday. Of course, that's work in progress Wednesday, and this is where you guys submit things you're working on, whatever stage it may be, whether it's near the end or right at the beginning, or if you got some drawn out ideas that you want to work on. So if you want to submit in the future, you can do so either by hitting up the Shoki Facebook page, either message me or post them. It's probably easier to message me, or the easiest way is to actually email at the shoki01.gmail or shoki01@gmail.com. That way I can just download everything all together and just put in a brief description of what you're working on and stuff like that. We do have a few entries here. These were all pretty much submitted back before Double October began, so sorry if you guys have been waiting on this. So let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, so first up, submitted on the Shoki Facebook, which almost completely forgot about, so just gotta remember this. So Nathan Villalobos, he posted, here's something for WIP Wednesday. The first one is a Gavaldi rebake kitbash, turning it into an IBO frame. I think he got the idea from my review. Planning on modifying the Gavaldi head, or if it doesn't work, I'm using the Kimara's Trooper head. That should be pretty cool. Second is giving the 1/100 Lupus claws from a spare HG Rex hands. Don't know if you should keep the silver paint or white. What do I think? I don't know off the top of my head. Let me look here. Okay, so basically what he did is he took the Rex hands, so the banana fingers, and he slapped them actually on the 1/100, which actually looks almost perfectly scaled, which is really interesting. As for the silver fingers, I don't think it matches aesthetically. I would have gone with maybe white fingers. So obviously the Rex would use yellow, but the fact that it works so well is what's really, really funny. So I dig that. That's pretty cool. The other thing is, he said, just showing off wooden tiki statues that my dad hand carved from a block of wood to decorate the yard. Those are actually pretty sweet. Not gonna lie, I dig that. Almost wouldn't mind having one. That's pretty cool. To decorate the yard, it's that big. I mean, around the house, sure. Actually, my uncle would do hand carved African style wood carvings. I have one out in the living room. In fact, it's actually very cool. It's a skull with a couple birds on it. But that's actually pretty awesome. Of course, as we're going, I'm showing off the pictures. As for the kitbash turning the rebake into a 1/100, or I'm sorry, into an actual IBO frame. Obviously, you're doing a whole lot of fixing and stuff like that, and altering the original IBO frame. I can see there. It looks like it definitely has some Kimaras. It might all be Kimaras. Hard to tell, or even, yeah. I mean, obviously it's still beginning stages in these pics, so everything's really roughed up, really rough paint and stuff like that. But hey, if you're gonna go for it, go for it. I mean, obviously you're just adding all the stuff from the rebake onto it and then figuring out how to adjust the chest and stuff like that. I honestly probably would just try to make a hollow body onto the frame. Probably would be the best way to go. I really should mute things. I mean, I would probably do that. Hollow out at least for the core of the body, hollow out the actual armor and just sandwich it. Might work. Getting the rebake head to work on that probably wouldn't be that hard, to be honest. It's all ball joints. Just different size ball joints, so. I don't know, it's a pretty cool idea. I can't wait to see what happens in the future, so. Good job, Nathan. I think, are you I remember you, either submitting or commenting on stuff before, so that's pretty awesome. The next up is from a longtime subscriber and a person who's actually still waiting on my custom that I need to send to him, and that is, of course, Reece Bosworth. And he, I remember him sending this to me like a long time ago, like the actual, start of it, and it's actually he painted his own Man Rhodey. Mind you, he's just using the regular Man Rhodey body, so he doesn't have the feet and stuff for it, but the orange and the white actually look really good. And at the beginning, if the dang picture will open, he has it where it's only lightly shaded and weathered and stuff like that, and he's actually going for a very weathered kind of chipped paint job. So he's got a whole lot of pre-shading on the white and then on the orange. Taking the body apart, doing a whole bunch more heavy speckled paint, clearly through an airbrush and stuff like that. Looks really good. We've got some chipping. I dig it. Also, it's not the easiest thing in the world to have painted this thing, the colors he's after. Got some brown, got some gray, looks like some silver, chipping and battle damage, looks really good. Though this isn't so much a work in progress as it is near completed, but obviously it's completed by now. But it looks really cool. I mean, I'm not into that super heavy weathered look, but I like it. And I like the extra shading and weathering and stuff on the weapons. That looks pretty awesome. Where is the... There was a completed picture. I may not have gotten all of them all at once. So, I do dig it. It looks awesome. Good job, Reece. And obviously the logo type will happen as soon as I get back on that. I'm sorry it's taking so very long. But believe me, you're going to be absolutely happy with the end result. You've seen so far what I've got done. So, alright, so from there, we also have... Hold on, I gotta go back to his name. Drew G. So, hi. Don't know if I've ever seen your stuff before, but he did a couple different things. So he said, I ran out of ideas. Sorry, that's the wrong folder. Okay, so he's doing IBO and WO kitbashes. So we've got a few things here. It's pretty interesting to say the least. So we have a Guzhan Rebake Full City combined with CeraVe. It's bulky. It's pretty damn bulky. So that's going to be a big bruiser. I hope to put the sub-arms on there because that would be awesome. I mean, he would have sub-arms coming out of places and legs and everything coming out of places. So I dig it. And of course, obligatory Double-O Riser Barbatos Lupus. I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. I mean, it's cool. Oh, ooh, I just now realized the legs are turned upside down. That's interesting. So, obviously it's not done, I would think. But hey, if it is, it is. It's an interesting aesthetic. There's two very different things, even those guys who did Double-O did Barbatos, or the IBO designs. Looks a little heavy in the shoulders. I hope you don't have too many problems with that. Obviously, that's the riser pack and stuff like that. It's almost like the head is too big, too. Like the Lupus head just doesn't work with the Double-O stuff. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying it's an interesting aesthetic choice. But the different modifications using side skirts as knee pads, that's pretty cool, actually. Kind of hard to pick out all the little details. And it's not like I haven't done random collaborations. Oh yeah, you got the whole backpack on there and everything. Oh wow, the melding of the back skirts is weird. It's just two things you don't ever expect to see collided. Huh. MG and sword. Neat. And so there was somebody else during Lupus for Lupus who also did a the Double-O crossover. Was that Andy? Was that you, Andy? I think it was you, Andy. Wilson, that is. Okay, and then he did a couple others. We've got a Flauros combined with Zavanya. Interesting. Or is it... Well, no, it's... Oh, it's weird. It's like Cherubim Saga with some Zabanya with other... It's a lot. I'm going to say there's a lot going on, but still, interesting. Because the crotch doesn't work that way. Interesting. Maybe I'm just thinking that the feet on the... No, those are Zavanya feet. Interesting. Or are those Cherubim Saga feet? I don't know. It's hard to... You know how many Double-O things I've built today? Not today. But either way. It's kind of cool. Very hard to paint Flauros green. give you credit there. That's not the easiest thing in the world. And I was right, yeah. So you got the Zavanya butt skirt here with the Cherubim backpack. That is just an overall thing. That's a whole lot of stuff. And that's definitely an IBO cannon. Huh. Well, what might have been interesting is to add a lot more of the Cherubim and Dynamis idea to the Floros, but keep it to where it could still transform into shelling mode. That might have been cool. So this is more like a 00 Gundam with just a Floros center part. It would have been, to me, it would have been more fun to go the other way. So have a lot more Floros on the outside with some GN weaponry for shelling mode. That would have been actually pretty cool. I mean, it's an interesting idea. Just maybe flip it the other way. If you got parts going the opposite direction, because just about any IBO frame will work for that. But combining the Floros head with a little bit of the Dynamis or Cherubim or even Zavanya, any of them would be pretty cool. Go that direction. If you got spare parts, go after it. That ought to be interesting. And at least in the background, you see that a little bit more weaponry to that. I assume that most of these aren't entirely finished because it's work in progress. Because I can see there's just multi stages of paint going on, so still pretty cool. I dig it. Hey, as long as you're having fun, right? Alright, and last for this WIP Wednesday is Thomas Rhys. We've seen his work before. He's been here on the channel a multitude of times. And this is a project he started not long ago. Actually, it's pretty much done by now, because he's showing me as he was going. And he wanted to do a custom flamethrower style Leo, which is pretty cool. So he had 3 Leos, if I remember correctly. So he bought one, and he won one from me, and then he got one again from USA Gundam Store. So he's got different pictures of how he's converting the original machine gun into a flamethrower. Used the leftover arm shield from the Striker Jinx, which is pretty cool, and actually a fairly similar green, now that he's going for green. He also made an interesting backpack. He did actually ask me a few questions on custom ideas on try to make a few things work. I think one thing I told him to go with a different wire, possibly, for the hose going from the backpack to the flamethrower bit. I don't know if he did or not, but I dig the custom backpack, which is just leftover parts and bits from other, including the center part on the backpack. That's pretty funny. The drum from the gun, a couple other bits. So that actually worked out pretty cool. Reusing a lot of the same parts. So kit bashing within itself. That's actually very neat. Then he went ahead and painted all the things red because he's going for a flamethrower type. I forgot that he called it a certain thing, and I forgot what. I forgot the actual name he called it. Let me look. Leo Fire Dance is what he called it. Makes it sound like Pokemon. It's a Pokemon. So when he showed me these photos originally, okay, so he's got a whole bunch of silver. He's got a whole bunch of orange, well, not a whole bunch, but he's got a lot of orange, which is used for the joints and stuff like that. And the hands and the frame, and a lot of the things that were gray went orange. Interesting aesthetic. Nice matte black for the flamethrower. I guess he went with that heavier gauge wire. No, I know what he was going to do. He was going to use a much heavier tube, like an actual air tube out of something that said it'd be way too big. And I know that he ran out of paint. He told me this. He ran out of paint before he got a lot of the details, because he had a lot more red. Stuff like that for the feet and other things like that. It would definitely look good with a little bit of dry brushing, maybe a little bit more detail on the backpack with just a straight black. Oh, here we go. Here's the pictures of adding the red detail, stuff like that. And there's some weathering, because I know he can weather stuff. I like that. Mind you, I'm looking through these pictures as I'm talking, so it's like I haven't seen it completely. Now, one cool thing he did is he took he had the extra shoulder mount for the Leo, and he's using that to mount the shoulder from the Jinx, which is pretty cool. And he still has the beam sabers in there, stuff like that. So a bit more on the weathering. It's a bit greasy for me, but some people like that aesthetic. It's fine. It is what it is. A little heavy on the wash for me, because I know he can do a lot of other things. And he probably wanted to go with some more scorch marks and stuff like that, but that's fine. Still a cool idea. In fact, we're working on another idea for him as a Buster Leo, because I have a spare Buster rifle that he can play with now. So that should be a lot of fun. Alright guys, but that's it for the first WIP Wednesday. Hope you have enjoyed checking out these builds. I don't have any more to look at. Nobody sent me any others. So if there's stuff you guys want to show off, by all means. It doesn't have to be Gundam. It could be anything you are working on at all. So if you're an artist and you're working on drawings, or if you're working on paint, like I know Ryan Liu, he's a fantastic artist. He's got different works in progress. In fact, actually, let me show off some of his. Perfect, great. You're listening, Ryan? If you are working on any kind of model kit or any other things, if you build stuff out of wood, like Mr. Villalobos, his dad, was doing. So by all means, show off some stuff. And one thing I don't want to do, mind you, I can see lots of work in progress stuff in Facebook groups and things like that, but I do not want to take someone else's pictures and represent them without their permission. Obviously, that wouldn't be fun. Plus, this gives a little bit more interaction with you guys. So once again, down below, you got my email, you got my Facebook, you can find me, you can get a hold of me. Posting them is one thing, sending them to me is much easier because you can really spell out what you're working on. If there's any techniques that you're doing that you want to talk about, by all means, bring them up, that's fine. Or if there's any questions or opinions or stuff like that, obviously I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on things. So it's kind of like Builder Showcase, but nothing's finished yet. It's fun. So guys, make sure you do the like and the subscribe-ish button, whichever side that's going to be on. This thing's reversed whenever I'm looking at it, so I don't know. So let's call it that side. And Shoki shirts. Go check out the Shoki shirts. Check out Patreon. I have the $1 option added, so if you guys have been holding back because you just didn't want to throw out $5, by all means, the $1 option is there. So guys, more stuff coming up. I'll see you guys later. Remember, as always, keep on building and show me what you're building. See you guys later.